For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off your order. Yes then YouTube, the title of the video says it all. No more 71 depth. We have had a brand new patch drop this morning, which has completely killed 71 depth. So I've been playing FC24 for you today all morning to give you the best custom tactics right now on this patch. Now, these may be liable to change over the next few days, as of course I do play more and more and more on this new patch. But I thought, you know what, I'm going to drop you my full set of custom tactics right now, because there's quite a big change. By the way, up the Villa, how do you think we're going to get on against Man City tonight? Let me know in the comment section down below. So, balanced on the defensive style in my ultra defensive 4-2-3-1. The big change as well now, YouTube, is you're going to want to go very narrow with the defensive width. The game on this patch is trying to open out the middle of the pitch, so we need to combat that. So to combat that, we need to go very narrow in our defensive width. So you will now see me using 40 width a lot, 60 depth on the 4-2-3-1. I do think we can afford to be a little bit more aggressive with the 60 depth in the 4-2-3-1 because we do have two CDMs. Balanced and direct passing, of course. 45 on the width. Offensive width, should I say. 7 players in the box, 2 corners and 2 free kicks. Remember, this is an ultra defensive 4-2-3-1. So I only really switch into this in like the last 10-15 minutes of a game. But you can switch into it minute 1 if you want to. Stay central and just getting behind on the striker. All 3 of the cams now, YouTube, are on comeback on defence and getting to the box for cross. I then play with my attack-minded CDM on balanced attack and cover centre. My more defensive-minded CDM on stay back while attacking and cover centre. Both my left back and my right back are also on stay back while attacking. And then my goalkeeper is on comes to crosses and sweeper keeper. So that's my ultra defensive 4-2-3-1. My main formation that I switch into minute 1 of the game is still the 4-3-2-1. But there's actually been quite a few changes because of this new patch. But again, remember, this could be liable to change over the next few days. But this is right now, day number 1 on the patch. The best custom tactics you can use, in my opinion. So, I switch into the 4-3-2-1, minute 1 of the game. My main formation, absolutely love it. Balanced on the defensive style, 100%. You don't want to be using a pressure on heavy touch or press after possession loss in a 4-3-2-1, especially on this new patch, YouTube. It just does not work at all. It just does not work. 40 width, but you might be a little bit scared by this. I am maybe of the opinion that 35 width is actually even a little bit better. Remember, we need to go very narrow because of how the game is now coded. It tries to leave as much space as it can in the middle of the pitch. So because of that, we need to combat that. Going very narrow does work. I kind of didn't really notice too much of a difference though between 35 and 40. I just think maybe as I do some more testing over the next few days, I will drop a brand new 4-3-2-1 like updated with gameplay clips probably this weekend. I think it could go down to 35, but at the minute, I'm liking 40. 55 on the defensive depth. Remember, we don't want to go too YOLO in the 4-3-2-1 now. We don't need to use the 71 depth. It does not work. It actually is really bad now. You use it. Instead of them nerfing it, they've actually just completely killed it, if you kind of get what I'm saying. It's just really, really, really bad. So, 55 on the depth. Balanced and direct passing. Again, your absolute bread and butter. One thing I will say, though, I was actually trying out fast build-up and balanced this morning with this like new patch and the 4-3-2-1. Fast build up and balance is good. Definitely something that maybe you should look to using if you're struggling to create opportunities. But I never find that in the 4-3-2-1. I always find it very easy and a very balanced thing to create opportunities in the 4-3-2-1. Very narrow with the offensive width. Because remember, the game is now trying to force us out wide in terms of our defensive structure. And a lot of our opponents that we will be playing against, their offensive width, no, defensive width. They won't understand that. So if we go very narrow with our set of custom tactics, we can really abuse the gap in the middle of the pitch now. It's why I've gone for a very narrow 40 width. 7 players in the box. More players in the box, more likely we are to score a goal. Very simple. 2 corners and 2 free kicks. The player instructions, not a lot has actually changed on this at all. Both my strikers, my striker is on stay central and getting behind, and then my right centre forward is on stay central and getting behind, because remember, they are the 2 strikers in the 4-4-2 when we're defending. My left forward is then on comeback on defence because he tucks into that left midfield of a 4-4-2. If you're not interested in that though, leave him on basic defence support, absolutely fine. My left centre mid is still on the exact same thing. Get into the box for cross and cover centre. I was experimenting though. That's liable to change. So maybe put a question mark over that. That could change over the next few days. There's something that I was tweaking with that I liked, but I haven't done enough research to see if I like that fully yet. My middle centre mid, stay back while attacking and cover centre. That won't change. The middle centre mid will always be on that because he plays like that Rodri role, that Boubacar Kamara role. Up the Villa tonight. Come on, you Villa boys. Let's beat Man City. Come on. He plays as that Boubacar Kamara role, middle of the pitch. Right centre mid, completely default settings again with cover wing. Right back is still the one that is on stay back while attacking because I then attack with my left back on during the attack and overlap. Last but not least, my goalkeeper is then on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. So that's my main custom tactics that I use from minute one. Not even if, but when the 4-3-2-1 isn't working for me, I will then switch up into a 4-4-2. I actually experimented a lot with the 4-4-2 today. Balanced on the defensive style again. 40 width. Remember, we need to go very narrow to protect that middle of the pitch. You will find on this new patch, YouTube, and let me know in the comment section down below if you do agree, that if you aren't like going very narrow with the defensive width, you will have a massive gap in the middle of the pitch. The way this patch has dropped, it's really forcing our defensive structure out wide to leave a big gap in the middle of the pitch. So you do need to go narrow. 55 on the defensive depth. We do go a little bit more, like not as high as when we're using a 4-2-3-1 because we only have 2 central midfielders rather than 2 CDMs. We kind of need to counteract that by just using 55 depth. Balanced and direct passing again. I actually liked long ball and balance though. Long ball and balance on the 4-4-2 is good. Definitely something that maybe you can have a question mark over. Like long ball balance, it's good. Like trust me, it's good. But balance and direct passing does trump it again. The offensive width, we do go quite narrow all the way down to 40 on the 4-4-2. That is subject to change over the next few days. I will probably have a 4-3-2-1 and a 4-4-2 live this weekend in terms of like with gameplay and more in-depth analysis and stuff like that. That could change, but at this moment in time, I am using 40 offensive width because again, we want to take advantage of our opponents having a big gap in the middle of the pitch. So we do go quite narrow. 7 players in the box, 2 corners and 2 free kicks like so. Player instructions. Both my strikers stay central, get in behind and come back on defence. That has not changed. My left midfielder and right midfielder, the big key thing now, because of the big gap in the middle of the pitch that the new patch has created, you are going to want to have your left mid and right mid on cut inside. Very, very, very important. Also, come back on defence, cut inside, get in behind and get into the box for cross. And that is exactly the same on my right midfielder as well. Right centre mid, stay back while attacking and cover centre, the more defensive minded central midfielder. Left centre mid, get into the box for cross and cover centre. Very key now, especially with there being a bit of a gap in the middle of the pitch on getting to the box for cross and cover centre. Both my left back and my right back are on stay back while attacking. And then last but not least, my goalkeeper is on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there is my brand new updated post-patch custom tactics for you. If you did enjoy this video, YouTube, please drop it a like. Remember, I will have some very more longer in-depth analysis of the 4-3-2 on the 4-4-2, and I'm going to try 4-1-2-1-2 narrow out as well because of the new patch leaving a big gap in the middle of the pitch. I'm feeling like a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow could be back on the cards. Hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive male attitude. Peace out. One love.